It was a grueling fight, and he never gave up. I didn't know he had that in him. I thought he would quit as soon as the fight got hairy, which it did. He didn't give up.
Yeah, I'm talking before the first time I met him, second time I met him, third time I met him. I met him a few times before fight night. Before the fight was arranged, just an idiot all round. Not my cup of tea. Not someone I go and have breakfast with in the morning.
Oh, I never
I'm
said
excited.
that.
I'm excited. No. You said you're the people's
Eddie
champ.
said you were the people's champ. I never said.
Well, listen, some people are going to love you, some people hate you, vice versa, and that's completely fine because we stand on what we believe. We are who we are. I personally think you're a bit of a
The final confrontation is set for November 15th, where Eubank and Benn will fight for their legacies. Conor Benn did not hold back his personal feelings about Chris Eubank Jr., repeatedly calling him an idiot and an awkward person. He stated that he simply does not like him, citing Eubank's arrogance as the main reason. Benn mentioned that he found Eubank difficult to talk to during their meetings before the fight was even arranged. He made it clear that Eubank is not someone he would ever choose to spend time with.
I don't know.
Personally, I think he's an idiot. I just don't like him. Do you know what I mean?
What is it about him that you don't like?
He's just arrogant.
Right.
He's just arrogant. Do you know what I mean? Just like, it's his persona. He's just an idiot. there ain't really any other words to describe. He's an idiot. He's awkward. He's not much of a person to have a conversation with. Yeah, I'm talking before the first time I met him, second time I met him, third time I met him. I met him a few times before fight night. Before the fight was arranged, just an idiot all round. Not my cup of tea. Not someone I go and have breakfast with in the morning.
Moreover, Benn admitted that his personal dislike for Eubank made their first fight harder, not easier. He revealed that his anger made him too emotional, causing him just to want to bang his head in instead of fighting smart. After watching the fight back, Benn was critical of his own performance, telling himself, "What are you doing?" He concluded that for the rematch, he must control his emotions and stay calm to be effective.
Does that make it easier or harder when you fight an opponent?
Harder.
It makes it hard. Why?
Because I just want to bang his head in.
So you're going in with emotion rather than...
Yeah. Like, I watched my fight back for the first time the other day, and I watched it back, and I'm just sitting there going, Conor, what are you doing?
Yeah.
What are you doing? Like, I watched it back, I'm just like, mate, you need to sort your emotions out.
So...
You need to get your emotions in check. You need to regulate your emotions before you get into this next fight.
On the other hand, Chris Eubank Jr. admitted that his first fight with Conor Benn taught him something new about his rival. He acknowledged that Benn possesses a fighting spirit and level of resilience he did not believe was there before. Eubank stated that when the bout became a grueling and difficult battle, he expected Benn to quit. However, Benn never gave up, and for that display of heart, Eubank gave him full credit and respect.
What did you learn about Conor in that fight?
I learned that he has a spirit that I didn't think he had. It was a grueling fight, and he never gave up. I didn't know he had that in him. I thought he would quit as soon as the fight got hairy, which it did. He didn't give up. And so for that, I will give him his credit and his respect.
Furthermore, Eubank pinpointed the shared experience of their first fight as the defining factor for the rematch. After 12 grueling rounds, there are no more secrets. Both men now have an intimate understanding of each other's strengths, weaknesses, and tendencies. The central challenge, according to Eubank, is which fighter can better use this knowledge to their advantage in preparation. He concluded that this insight makes a rematch unpredictable. It could either be a direct continuation of their first war or evolve into a completely different battle altogether.
Looking ahead to November 15th, what has changed and what will change?
Well, what's changed is we've shared 12 rounds with each other. We have seen the weaknesses, we've seen the strengths, we've seen the tactics, the tendencies, and now we both have to try and capitalize on this information in our preparation for this fight.
Rematches can go one of two ways, of course. They can be a continuation of the first fight, or they can be a completely different fight.
The Wade Concept analyzed that while Conor Benn had moments to win the first fight, his strategy for the rematch is crucial. He warned Benn that he cannot try to become Chris Eubank Jr. in the ring. While improving technique and adopting a jab-based plan are good, abandoning his core strengths would be a major mistake. He advised that Benn should not try to out-slick or out-jab Eubank, as that plays directly into Eubank's hands. Instead, he must rely on the raw power and aggressive aggressive style that made him a top contender in the first place.
Because the first fight was a good fight, and Conor Benn had moments that he could have taken control. But what you can't do in this second fight is try to be Chris Eubank Jr. You're trying to do it in these face-offs. You can't do that in the ring. Sure, be a little bit more technical. Sure, have a plan that starts with a jab and then ends with those different level attacks and that massive power that he's bringing to 160. But if you get too far away from what got you to this point, from the biggest qualities in your game, I think it's a mistake. Trying to fight like Eubank Jr. and be slick and technical and off the jab, I don't think is the right way.
Additionally, Wade explained that both fighters undoubtedly feel immense pressure in a fight of this magnitude, but they handle it very differently. He pointed out that Chris Eubank Jr. understands this pressure, but consciously chooses not to show it to his opponent. In contrast, Conor Benn openly showed all of his emotions while trying to act unbothered. According to Wade, this emotional transparency is a weakness that Eubank recognizes and uses to his advantage, feeding off Benn's visible reactions during their confrontations.
I don't know if Conor realizes it yet, but like, even asking the question, do you feel pressure? Conor knows the answer to that question. He, just like Chris, knows the pressure and the stakes of that first fight and this second one. Of course there's pressure. Every fighter knows going into a massive fight there's pressure, but that's what makes combat sport, that's what makes any sport worth playing or doing. Really anything in life. You feel pressure, it's because there are moments in your life where if you make the right choices, if you put yourself in the right positions, there's gonna be pressure because there's expectation, right? And just like for this fight, there was expectation for both fighters. And Chris telling Conor Benn, yeah, I feel pressure, but I'm not gonna let you see that. He's telling him what Conor needs to be doing, because all Conor does is give up all his emotions, give up everything while acting like he's not doing that, while acting like he's not gonna, and Chris feeds off of it because he sees it.
Conor Benn confronted Chris Eubank Jr., stating that their rematch was fully agreed upon and even booked for September 20th at Wembley Stadium. He questioned Eubank on why it fell through. Eubank responded with a blunt and powerful assertion of control, stating he canceled the date specifically because Benn wanted it. He declared that, as the winner of the first fight, he sets the terms and will fight when he wants to, not when Benn tells him to.
Genuine question, because it's all agreed. Wembley was booked, by the way. There was maybe, 6 weeks of negotiations. The date, venue set, booked. Asked me if I was good for that date, no problem. What happened, Chris?
I decided that I didn't want to fight on September 20th because you did.
I wasn't, to be honest. I'll be ready to fight you tomorrow.
I saw every
I'll fight
interview.
you right now.
I'm ready for September 20th.
Yeah, but I was ready for whenever. I'll fight you now. I'll fight you tomorrow.
This kid wants to fight September 20th, so you know what? We're not going to do it. I don't give a damn when this kid wants to fight. We're going to fight when I want to fight. I won. I don't have to march to the beat of these people.
During their face-off, Conor Benn acknowledged Chris Eubank Jr.'s public image as the people's champion. However, he drew a clear line between professional respect and personal feelings by stating he does not actually like Eubank. In response, Eubank dismissed the significance of personal likability, defining his character as fundamentally outspoken and direct. He clarified that his approach is to always voice his disagreement, but he frames it as a more polished and articulate method of communication compared to his rivals.
Do you know what? I've come here today, and I respect you, Chris. I think you're a good guy. I think you're a nice guy. You know, you're obviously the people's champ now, so it's like...
No, I never
I'm
said
excited.
that.
I'm excited. No. You said you're the people's
Eddie
champ.
said you were the people's champ. I never said
Well, listen, some people are going to love you, some people hate you, vice versa, and that's completely fine, because we stand on what we believe. We are who we are. I personally think you're a bit of a... You know, like, I don't really like you, but I respect you, and I think you're good at what you do. You know, that, like, yeah, it's good. I like it.
Okay.
Yeah, I like it.
Well, you know, this is...
You're going to come with it now, aren't you?
No, this is who I am. I'm uncensored, I'm unfiltered. If I see something and I don't like it or I don't agree with it, I point it out. So do you. I think I just have a bit of a, you know, I have a more refined way of speaking and putting my point across.
Meanwhile, Josh Taylor gave his verdict on the first fight, stating he agreed with the decision and believed the right man won. He praised the bout as highly entertaining and action-packed, giving Conor Benn credit for stepping up in weight and delivering a sharp performance. However, Taylor also made a key observation about Benn's mindset, noting that he appeared overly tense and emotional during his ring walk. He believed this nervous energy affected Benn in the early rounds before he eventually settled into the fight.
We're just talking there about Benn and Eubank. That was, did you enjoy that fight? Did you think it was a fair decision? I thought it was.
Yeah, I thought it was the fair decision. I thought the right guy won. But yeah, what a fight! Great fight. Definitely provided plenty of entertainment. I didn't think it was going to be as exciting as that, but yeah, it was an action-packed fight. So fair play to both guys, and fair play to Conor for stepping up in 2 weights and putting on a good performance like that.
It looked sharp, didn't he, Conor?
It was good.
Didn't he look sharp, Conor? Yeah.
He did, but I also thought he looked a little bit tense and tight at the start. When he was walking out to the ring, I thought he looked very, very, tight and tense. Very emotional, which I thought told in the very early parts of the fight.
Josh, tell
but
me.
As the fight settled in,
I was going to.
It started looking good.
Similarly, Dave Coldwell also believed Conor Benn learned crucial lessons from his first fight with Chris Eubank Jr. He stated that Benn was overly emotional, wild, and reckless in their initial bout, which hurt his performance. However, Coldwell sees a significant change in Benn's approach for the rematch, noting he appears much more calculated and emotionally controlled. He attributed this growth to the hard experience of going 12 tough rounds with a bigger, stronger opponent. Coldwell is confident that this difficult experience will ultimately make Benn a smarter and more effective fighter.
I feel that Conor learned a lot from that fight, learned a lot about himself, learned that he can't be emotional and he has to have a little bit of thought because he was wild, reckless, especially early doors. Yeah. It was horrible. But I think he'll be a lot more calculated, smarter. He seems to be a lot more emotionally controlled this time coming into this fight. And I think just the experience of doing the rounds, the hard rounds against the bigger man, being backed up against ropes and, getting caught and getting hurt and being so tight, I think all that experience will make him a better fighter.
Zach Parker predicted that Chris Eubank Jr. will be more disciplined in the rematch, boxing smarter instead of brawling, and could potentially stop Conor Benn in the later rounds. On the other hand, Paul Smith expressed serious doubts about Eubank's ability to improve significantly at this stage of his career. He pointed out that Benn, a natural welterweight, was able to hurt Eubank in their first fight. Smith believed that with this knowledge and added confidence, Benn will be even more dangerous and could secure a victory.
How do you see it going?
I think Eubank will do a better job than we did last. I feel like he just thought, oh, he can't hurt me, so I'm just going to have a brawl with him, but I feel like he'll box him this time and maybe take him out towards the late rounds.
I've actually changed my mind over the last couple of weeks.
Where you going?
I don't think Eubank has anything left, and I've said this before, and I'm not disrespecting him, putting him down. He's had a hard career. I felt the same when he was fighting my brother Liam, so I can't really go back and say now all of a sudden because of Bomac he's magically going to improve. He will improve, but I think the shot resistance, when Conor Benn, who was a welterweight, was hurting him in the last fight, I think with the added confidence of Conor Benn knowing he can hurt in this fight, with another crack at it.
You don't think that was down to making the weight though, because how badly he got it wrong?
I don't think he got it badly wrong, no. This is my point. He just turned up a little bit late.
According to Blue Blood Sports, Conor Benn sent a clear message to Chris Eubank Jr. during their face-off. He stated that regardless of the rematch's outcome, his career path is already set. Benn revealed he has a signed contract for a world title fight at 147 pounds that will proceed after his fight with Eubank. This underscores that his ultimate goal remains winning a championship in his natural weight class, framing the Eubank bout as a major obstacle, but not his final destination.
And now they had a face-off to which Conor Benn alluded to Chris Eubanks that win, lose, or draw, I'm going back down to 147 and I'm going to fight for a title. You holding up my title plans at 147, right? But I already signed, my fight is already signed and completed to have a title fight at 147 after this fight, win, lose, or draw.
Moving ahead, trainer Bomac explained that his work with Chris Eubank Jr. is all about fine-tuning. He stated that a fighter of Eubank's caliber doesn't need a major overhaul, just corrections to the mistakes made in the first fight. His goal is to ensure those errors aren't repeated, leading to a better and more efficient performance. Bomac believed this refined approach would result in a clearer and easier victory for Eubank in the rematch.
This fine-tuning, that's what a fighter of that caliber just needs, fine-tuning, and just trying to fix the mistakes that he made in the first fight before you go into the second fight. And that's the same thing I did the first fight we worked with him. Just fine-tuning, just make sure you don't make the same mistakes over and over. So, you have better results. I figured that, I mean, yes, he got the victory, but I figured it could be a little bit more of easier fight this time. You know, not try to put a whole bunch out there, but just fine-tuning to make it easier for him.
Recently, Chris Eubank Jr. released a video showing his ambulance being blocked from leaving Tottenham Hotspur Stadium for over 20 minutes after his last fight. In the footage, his team can be heard urgently demanding that security open the gate so he can get to the hospital. Eubank posted this evidence to refute promoter Eddie Hearn's claims that he was lying about the incident. He stated that this situation cannot be allowed to happen again, emphasizing that boxing is already a dangerous sport and fighters must have immediate access to medical care. Chris Eubank Jr. responded to critics who accused him of playing the victim after revealing his ambulance was delayed in April. He stated that if he wanted sympathy, he would have shared graphic photos of his injuries a long time ago. His goal is not to gain pity, but to ensure that fighter safety is improved. He is highlighting the issue to guarantee that if he is seriously injured again in his November 15th rematch, he will be transported to a hospital without any delays. Chris Eubank Jr. said, "I saw comments yesterday saying I'm playing the victim and looking for sympathy after showing what happened to my ambulance in April. If I cared about people's sympathy, I would have posted this picture a long time ago. I'm shining a light on the situation to make sure that if I end up looking like this again on November 15th after another dogfight, that I'm simply taken to hospital as quickly as possible. That is all." Robert Smith clarified the security responsibilities for a boxing event. He explained that the venue itself is responsible for all security related to the access points in and out of the building. On the other hand, the event promoter is responsible for the security inside the arena bowl, such as around the ring and the seating areas, as well as the areas outside the fighters' dressing rooms. He concluded that it is a shared effort between the venue and the promoter.
The venues are responsible for the in and out of the venue, especially in the football ground. It's slightly different in leisure centres and whatever, because obviously you don't have those facilities. But the venue is responsible for the security of in and out of the access of the venue. Obviously, the promoter is responsible for the security within the bowl of the arena, etc., and on the outside and outside dressing rooms. So it's a combination of two, but the venue is responsible for in and out of access in and out of a venue.
Chris Eubank Jr. and Conor Benn are locked in with everything on the line at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium on November 15th. From Ben's raw hatred and struggle to control his emotions, to Eubank's seasoned resilience and newfound respect, their war is about more than just a win. It's about legacy, pride, and settling a score a generation in the making. One man must rely on his refined technique and experience. The other must harness his raw power and controlled aggression. Now, only one question remains. Who do you think will win this final confrontation? Drop your prediction in the comments. Like and subscribe for full fight night coverage and updates.